his passion where he is right now, and it's basically passing on this spirit of philanthropy. And philanthropy is more than just the love man and helping become that our community. And he's embodying this thought, word, and deed since I've had a pleasure of meeting him and seeing his ministry in action. So without further ado, I'd like to bring up to you guys my man Sam Martinez. Bring it up.
Good afternoon. First of all, thank you so much for the opportunity to come out here and just to share our vision and what we do in the community. This is my first time attending one of these events, and my heart is to see the beauty of what goes on in the community and how community comes together just for a common goal, whatever it is that mission for that organization is. And so, as Marco said, my name is Sam Martinez. And I'd like to kind of give you just an overview of who I am and what I'm about, because I believe that when we operate either a business, a nonprofit, whatever it is that we do, I believe that when we have a story that kind of leads up to it, it kind of shows the desire and the passion that we have and why we operate why it means so much to us. And so my name is Sam, and I run an organization called Hope in the Streets. And me and my wife run it. We're an official 501(c). We've been officially operating as a 501(c) for about 6 months, but we've been doing this for a very long time. And so, a little history about me. I grew up in Los Angeles, California. My mom was a heroin addict. My dad was an alcoholic. Didn't really know my dad. I met him about 3 or 4 times. Grew up in a very gang-infested neighborhood, involved in gangs and stuff. While my mom was in and out of jail, I was very lost and didn't know that a product of my environment made sense. And as a young kid, we ended up being homeless, and I lived on Skid Row in downtown Los Angeles with a box over my head so the rats wouldn't eat my face. Did that for about 3 years while my mom was in addiction. Well, I ended up getting taken away from my mom and got put into the foster system. And going from no structure, doing whatever you want, going into structure of somebody telling you what you want to do was very hard transition for me, especially with all the trauma that I carried. I was a mama's boy. I love my mom, even through her situation and through her addiction, I spent some very vital times with her. So my love for her was not based on what normal love would be, it was based on the bondage that we did while we were sleeping, hugging together to stay warm on the streets. And so I felt like my world was just over. I went through foster care, went to group homes, lived with my aunt for a little while. My aunt was a functional alcoholic, and she would call me into the room and she would tell me every single day while she was drinking in the kitchen, "You're going to be a failure just like your mom." So for a year I heard that, and I just started believing it after a while here. And finally I just got fed up and I said, "No more," and I told her some stuff I probably shouldn't. And they moved me to another foster care. Well, at 16 years old, my mom ended up overdosing and dying on drugs. My whole plan and my whole life for the 3 years prior that I was in foster care was I wanted to be reunited with my mom, but my mom was so bad on heroin that she didn't desire to get better. So she died at 16, she overdosed, and I felt like my world was over. And my foster mom, I remember her telling me, "You can take this as motivation and do better, or you can play a victim role and you can fall back into the streets and go back and do the same thing." So when I turned 18 years old, I had to make a decision. What was I going to do? So I decided to join the military. So in 1999, I joined the military, didn't know what I was getting into. And again, going from no structure or semi-structure to somebody telling you what you're going to do, what time you're going to wake up, there was a little friction in that sense. But I knew deep down that I had to be broken in order to be rebuilt. And so I went and did the military, went to Korea, came back, and then the war started. And so I got deployed, went to the initial Iraq invasion. From there, back and forth, just continuous deploying back, coming home for a year and going back again. Seen a lot of stuff and went through a lot of challenges, what you see and dealing with it, trying to just pretend like you didn't see it and operate. Well, in 2018, I had become just such an alcoholic where I was drinking about a gallon of alcohol a night. And that was my way of just escaping my reality. I would operate, go to work, come back home, and I would just be drunk. And I had 5 kids at that time. So in 2018, I had the opportunity to go to a program through Samaritan's Purse called Operation Heal Our Patriots in Alaska. But my biggest issue was I've seen people withdraw from heroin, and I've seen people withdraw from alcohol. And from my experiences, the withdrawal from alcohol was worse than the withdrawal from heroin. And so I was like, I gotta go up here to Alaska, 5 days with no alcohol. What am I gonna do? I'm trying to pretend like nobody knows I'm drinking. So I took a leap of faith because me and my wife were on the edge of just losing. She was gonna get away. She couldn't deal with me being an alcoholic and being just here, there, everywhere. And so I took a leap of faith and I went there. And then the fourth day, we actually got baptized together in Alaska. And instantaneously, in that moment, when I came out of the water, I was delivered from alcohol. Wow. And it was so powerful because I didn't have the desire anymore to even, like, literally God took the taste out of my mouth. And I could be around it and not have no temptations. And to go from drinking almost a gallon a night to that, I knew